It's Thursday, and you know what that means. It is IndyCar night on ERN. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gazzo, and welcome to round 2 of the Elite Racing League's premier championship, the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series, as we come to you from Chicagoland Speedway for the Elite Chicagoland Indy 300. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Luis, welcome. Big news of the last race was really the fortunate yellow that Tyler Fode and the pretty much the entire podium caught at the end of, or in the middle portion of that race to really catapult them to the victory there. And it really cycled some key players to the mid-pack that are looking to really recover today. Case in point is our defending series champion, Adriano Pinero. He's got it buried down in the points right now, albeit only after one race. But basically it came down to just a few ounces of fuel and about one lap decision if he should have come in or stay out. He decided to come in while the rest of the guys stayed out, and then the caution fell, and that's exactly how the last race was determined.
Yeah, it was really disaster for Adriano Pinero that day. When he lead many laps, it's like you lead all these laps, you went quiet, easy on the front, and then yellow came out, Fode and Stora and Norgard made the call, the good strategy, and then Adriano went to back, and back to the 7th place when I see on the standing. So it's really tough for him. Stop started, but we already saw it last season, last year actually, when he started worse.
Mm-hmm.
Worse
Yes,
started
he
for
did.
him, and then he went too high to win the championship to the end, and that race and get away easily for him. So new started. Let's see what's happening in Chicagoland. Chicagoland is tough, especially around the track. So we're still qualifying, actually.
Yeah, we got about 2 minutes in that. Yeah, 2 minutes, 10 seconds left. Pinero, Klindy. Now Frankenfeld goes second. Klindy third. Kurnow fourth. And Tristan Fortson is in fifth. We'll talk about each one of those drivers here very shortly. So here are the points coming into today's race. There are your championship standings. Tyler Fode with the win and our early points leader. Then Presley Sora, Leighton Norgard. Then we have Thomas Keel. That is how you say his last name, Keel. Then Klindy in fifth. Yeah, it's Keel, not cool. It is Keel. That's what he told me. So we will stick to that. Ethan Stanley, Pinero, our defending series champion. Andrew Wood, Kidda, and Connor Nixon, your top 10. Now, you see all R's next to their name. Well, they're going to be in this standing as well. This is your rookie standings. Thomas Keel is your rookie leader going into the second race of the season, followed by Klindy and Wood. That's talk about being chased down by two hotshots. There are two of them right there. Kidda, Nixon, Kurnow, Morera, Aldrich, Albrecht, and Matty Wags, your top 10. Those are the points coming into today's race with about a minute left here on qualifying. And speaking of Matty Wagner, he is sporting the 7-Eleven livery of Tony Kanaan. Tony Kanaan named the team principal of the McLaren IndyCar team today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still, that's a good thing when you have a.
Yeah.
It's a good thing when you have a veteran around. It's not like a Formula. I always mention Formula One because I'm more like into that. So when you go in Formula One, it's like you retire. Sometimes you're coming in like a David Coulthard is sometimes do presentation around the Red Bull all and things like that. But here in USA and America actually, you see these veterans still involved in any single things. For example, Castoreni is still around. Tony Kanaan, you mentioned now, is still around. And it's many others, so that's pretty good, and at least the people take important of these veterans.
Also should mention today is the 91st birthday of the late three-time Indy 500 winner, Uncle Bobby Unser. He would have turned 91 today. Well, qualifications is done, and we have a heck of a field that is going to line up tonight, and we're just going to dive into it because we are not going to have a lot of time to get all these guys in. We only got one lap, and we have 33 cars. It's like an Indy 500 out there. 33 cars on the grid. Here we go. On the pole and getting the 4D pole award is Pinero with a speed of 2:18.8, followed by Chad Frankenfeld in second. Clindy and Smith on row 2. Kurnow and Fortson on row 3. Ryan Schold hoping for a better race than he had last time. Same thing with Frankenfeld. On row 4 with Forsyth, Pizarro and Watson rounding out 9th and 10th on the grid. Wagner and Stanley in row 6. Foti, last week's winner, and Hibbs, winner last 2 seasons ago at New Hampshire on row 7. Albrecht and Blauman, not a rookie Blauman right there in row 8. Hunter Ingrave hot off a top 5 in yesterday's Formula Indy Series race, right next to Chicagoland's track record holder in real life, Richie Hearn. That's right. We'll talk about him in here a little bit. Presley, Sora, and Pocock on row 10. Hill and Morera on 11. Norgard and Herrick in 12. Rebilas and Camargo on 13. There is Andrew Wood and Huckleberry back on row 14. Kidda and Aldrich back on 15. Mitchell, Ritter, and Messias rounding out your last 3 on the grid. 17 rows, 33 on the line.
Debuted on Joel Ritter. Ritter didn't race last race, so he is now in the grid. And Thomas Hill, last race 4th. He's starting 34. I hope it's not going to be tough for him back to the front. But let's see what's happened today in the race.
Green flag in the air, and looking at Stanley trying to go 3 wide already further on back. As now we're 3 wide up in the higher portions of the top 10. There's Stanley on the outside of Wagner off of 2. We are 3 wide with Clindy on the bottom. That is further up front. If the camera will change for me. There we go. Back up front, it is Frankenfeld and Pinero swapping the lead. Frankenfeld already turned more laps today than he did all last race.
Oh, yeah, you're right. What a fortunate incident, and also Frankenfeld and Hill getting out after 2 laps in Kentucky. But today he's taking the lead. At least good start for him.
And he starts to... Oh, Pinero right there with Hunter Smith. And Hunter Smith now goes to second. Presley Sora with the purple lap that time by. So the 2 teammates rocket to the front. Pinero third. Kurnow, 4th. Tristan Fortin hot off a win earlier this week in the Votive Series at Michigan. He is in 4th. Clindy hot off a podium in the Oval Series on Tuesday night. He is currently 6th. Schold, he has a good opening stanza to this race. Had an equipment failure in the early opening laps of last week. Currently 7th. Craig Forsyth is in 8th. Frizzaro 9th. And Ethan Stanley, who tried to get a fast start on that green flag drop, is stalled out around about the 10th spot. Gavin Hibbs taking a peek on the outside of Stanley as we are 2 by 2 at this portion of the field. Ooh, there goes Hibbs to the inside now of Forsyth. As Hunter Smith goes to the lead. If you have a favorite driver out there, make sure to shout them out in chat. We'll get them on the camera for you. We already got Clindy chiming in, Clindy's fan club chiming in. Here's Hunter Smith and Frankenfeld swapping the lead yet again off the backstretch going into 3 and 4. Early stages. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Here comes Kurnow underneath Hunter Smith. But Frankenfeld's not going to have any part of that. He's going to help his teammate up high. Here comes Clindy. Ooh, wheel to wheel, really close between Hunter Smith and Kurnow.
I start to walk in. It's not walking, but check all the grid. And I see James Watson 15 spot down. Now it's 25. I think so. He have a kind of problem. He started in the top 6 or top 8, and now it's 25. It's still
and look at Matty Wags. Matty Wags down 10 as well. And I'm wondering, those are both Team Watson cars, and unless they both happen to have an incident that they got into, they might be tucking back and doing a little bit of fuel conservation already. Maybe they determined that if you save a little now, will help you later in this race.
It should be good because
three wide, Stanley in the middle. There we go. Albrecht and Forsyth around him. Go ahead.
Still 3 wide. Still 3 wide. Oh, Clendy. Whoa. The temperature in the track is not really problem. It's 38.9 Celsius and 103 Fahrenheit. Really weird because Chicagoland always is a high temperature here.
Hibbs, Sora, Blauman, and a battle there with Chris Albrecht as well. Kurnow going to the bottom of the racetrack, looking to get a position gained here on Fortson. Oh, Kurnow, little bit of loosey-goosey coming off of turn 4. Keeps it under him. Keeps the pursuit going. Hunter Smith, Frankenfeld continue to swap the lead at the front. Tristan Fortin decided he's going to use this high line in Chicagoland. This is the first time the Elite Racing League Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series has ever been to Chicagoland 2 weeks in a row, or 2 races in a row, where we've had inaugural races at a facility. First time at Legacy, Kentucky. First time here at Chicagoland. 96th race overall in league history. And that means we'll be coming up to our 100th race later this season at Barber. You won't want to miss that. Not very many leagues last to see 100 races. The ERL still alive and kicking. Top 5 all under a blanket at the moment. Smith, Frankenfeld, Fortson, Kurnow, Clindy. Your top 5. Schold, Pinero, Foti, our winner from last week, and Fazaro and Forsyth. They're in the bottom portion of the top 10. There is Foti, our winner from last week. He's just tucking in line, riding the high line at the moment. Leighton Norgard in the battle with Richie Hearn. Yeah, you did hear that right. Richie Hearn is the honest-to-God, real-world track record holder here at Chicagoland Speedway. He set that record. A lot of you people at home might not have been born yet. My daughter wasn't even born yet, I don't think. Track record set back in 2003 with a speed of 223.159. And that is still the track record to this very day. The career wins leaders here in IndyCar history at Chicagoland is Sam Hornish, Dan Weldon, and Dario Franchitti. Each have 2 wins here, as Richie Hearn all of a sudden disappeared. We'll get it back on the leaders here. 4 of the top 10 closest IndyCar finishes in all of IndyCar history have happened here, including 3 of the top 4. So we expect another one, a close one here today, and that's how they're racing up front. It is Frankenfeld, Kurnow, Smith, and Fortson, your top 4. Clindy, very interested party, watching from behind here.
I think Richie Hearn is BC because I still going now for one more lap down. So I think so after one more lap is DC for him.
Well, at least we got to give him props for getting the track record here before he DC'd.
Yes.
His driving here, it literally out exceeds his internet connection. That's how fast he was here. Whoa! Clindy might have got in the wall as he came up on Hunter Smith really quick and lost 2 positions. Now 3 positions.
I think
he got really close. If he didn't get the wall, he got really close. Here we go, off a 2.
He have a damage. He have a damage in the flat, in the wing, in the side wing.
Side plate?
He have
okay.
a damage on the side plate. So he have a damage. I hope you remember what happened with Adriano last season in the Pizza Series.
Yeah.
He have a damage. He went down. So finally have to adjust something inside of the track, the car, to keep it in the track and keep it in momentum. But he have a damage on there.
Yeah, and he's actually losing a little pace right now to Foti. That's right ahead of him.
This should be at least maybe can lose 1 mile, maybe 2 for each lap. So maybe, but he have to stay in the draft.
Still, the entire pack is still pretty much together. Let's get the intervals. I'm sorry, I was showing last lap times, fastest lap times. There are your intervals, so you can see the action on the racetrack. And let's get the driver inputs from Clindy off there as well. .25 of 200. We're caution free so far, but we had a moment about 3 laps ago. Andrew Wood up 7 spots. There he is. In the new Wood side paddling car there. We expect to make him move. We expected him to move forward. In fact, he is your biggest gainer of the day right now outside of Norgard, who finished on the podium last week. Dan Morera also up 6 spots. And Tyler Foti up 6 spots. A little bit back in the field, we had the 2 Brazilians, João Ritter. There is João. Wow! He got really close to Camargo. João Ritter, former champion of the Race First Indy Challenge Series. He is currently up 7 spots to 25th. And Nelson Messias, there's the gas man. He is up 6 spots to 27th. Gavin Hibbs on the apron at the moment, having an issue coming to pit road. This is too early for a pit stop.
Oh, he hit the wall too on turn 2. But I think it's I don't want to say the same like a Clendy because he make a two touch in the wall on the wall.
He's coming to a stop, going up on the jacks, going to get a new set of tires put in and fuel, but it looks like he is punched out, and that might be day done for our winner in New Hampshire 2 seasons ago. Meanwhile, back up front, it is Frankenfeld, Kurnow, and Fortson, your top 3. Each one of these guys has wins under their belt. Frankenfeld, your defending Indy 500 champion. Kurnow, winner in the PRL at Kansas, a very similar track to this. Fortson, winner earlier in the week, on a bit of a roll in a draft race at Michigan. Blauman getting around Forsyth for 11th. Now Blauman underneath Fazaro for 10th. Blauman gets 2 spots just in the front straightaway and move him in the top 10.
I follow Clendy. Is ready make some mistake and turn 3. He's going too close on the wall. He have to little bit chill on there, shut it down because the car is already have a damage. Every time when I hit the wall, you're gonna lose at least half a mile in the tracks in the car. So he needs to at least survive. He still have an 169 to go.
He's in battle with Stanley. Stanley did a full send into the corner down low, pulled alongside. But Clendy running that high line, keeping the momentum up. That might be the best thing for his car. He absolutely cannot lose a draft of the group in front of him. Here are your gaps on the racetrack at the moment between positions. 3 wide now for the lead down the backstretch.
Oh, again. Oh.
And that time Stanley gets the pass on Clendy, move him back to 9th. Clendy wants to get to pit road and get that car looked at to see if there's any damage that can be repaired from that incident. Now, if we go back to, it was about 10 laps ago, Hunter Smith, it looks like Hunter Smith had aero washed up in front of Clendy. Clendy had to roll out of it, and as the process of rolling out of it, gave a slight kiss to the wall. And that slight kiss, well, that kiss was not on his list because it is apparently damaged his car. If anyone gets the Hall & Oates reference.
The good thing about the pit stop is at least it make you like understand to turn the page to the new scene, and that's when I always like it when you go to the pit. It's like okay, you have 7 seconds to thinking about it. What is the next strategy? And that's when I clearly need to know.
Andrew Wood up 9 spots to 18th now as he continues to reel in the cars in front of him. Meanwhile, up front, leaders continue to swap back and forth as Frankenfeld, Kernau, Fortson, Smith. Those 4 have pretty much commanded the front since this race started. Little Eagle representing strong at the point now as the tip of the spear currently shows Frankenfeld, Smith, and Schold all in the top 5 for Little Eagle Racing. They came to play today. Team Rocket with the trusted Fortson in 3rd. Jordan Kernau getting a little bit of a nose ahead of Frankenfeld. Frankenfeld probably wearing those tires out, running on the bottom. Kernau getting a lot more momentum in that second lane and actually clears him now. Move Kernau to the point. I wonder if now Chad gives him an opportunity to shift his lanes and work different portions of the racetrack. Here comes the field all off of 2 on this curved backstretch just outside of Chicago and Joliet. Home of Joliet. You know who Joliet Jake is, right, LGN?
No.
He's one of the Blues Brothers. You know the Blues Brothers, right? Jim Belushi and Dan Aykroyd?
Oh, my God.
You've seen the movie. I know you've seen the movie.
Wait, what is the name?
The Blues Brothers.
Oh, okay. I never see the movie. Okay, I never see the movie, but I know it's kind of famous. But I never see the movie. My brother said, "Oh, this is a good movie."
It is a good movie. It's like one of the few musicals I'll actually watch.
My God, I never seen it with him and said, "Oh, that's true. You're right. It's a very good movie." But yeah, now I see the picture. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like
Dan Moreira, DC.
Oh, Dan Marrera, also a DC. So 2 drivers from the 4D stable have experienced network issues. Dan Marrera, my hero, but unfortunately, he's going to be down in 31st right now, along with Richie Hearn in 32nd. I think Richie Hearn is back, and he is turning some laps, so he's going to get a position on Dan if Dan can't come back. Gavin Hibbs in 33rd. Only 3 cars out at the moment.
That's pretty good. So we are 42 in the scene. We are maybe 8 laps to go to open the window. So the set rules is have to take turn 3 to the apron, going to the 4, and just go to the pit inside. That's
right. We had the rule set for tonight is that we're on a 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. We're doing 200 laps, 300 miles. I believe we're getting 9 sets of tires again. 1 on the car, 8 in the pits. No fast repairs. Pit road speed limit is 45. And during green flag racing, you must enter pit road off the apron going into turn 3. Restarts are controlled by the leader 1 lap after the pace car exits the track. Go green lap is about 90 miles an hour. The Elite Racing League's pole award goes to Adriano Pinero today for winning the pole here at Chicagoland, and that's sponsored by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in today's description. 4D Racewear, some really good stuff. A lot of guys in this lineup right now are using their gear, including Greg Forsythe in a battle with Joe Ritter for 15th. Ritter up 17 spots, LGN. And a fastest lap for Ritter, no less. 2:18.3.
That's pretty good for the Brazilian. Is going to the. You know what? I'm really excited for him because the next one is going to be Sonoma. And Ritter is really, really good. It's like an average. It's not the average driver. Like it's good in oval, and also it's good in road. So it's going to be interesting to see Joe Ritter in the in road too.
Yeah, my very first full-time broadcasting series that I got the chance to lead broadcasting. Zhao won that series. So I know him very well. Good to see him here in the Warriors for Peace Elite.
Jordan is going to pit.
Who's the pitting?
The leader is going to pit.
Kurnow. Okay, Kurnow coming down the pit road. Take it easy. It gets slippery down there.
Oh,
I think he got it. So first scheduled pit stops are happening right now at lap 48 for Jordan Kurnow.
So the trick is you think you're going to break the car, but the car is not breaking. So you have to be careful and just found the point where you have to brake. Frankenfeld in P2.
And also the 22 is also on pit road as well. So Tristan Fortson saves some fuel. Caution! Oh no, what happened?
Is somebody disappear? Let's see. Oh, Joe Ritter with Rafael Fusaro, sorry. Photo then. He's almost collect to Greg Forsythe also too. And turn 2.
Okay, I gotta go back a little bit further here. Okay, and contact coming off the corner and synchronized spinning like an Olympic sport. Zhao actually hits the wall. Craig almost got hit. Who is the 16? That is Fazaro. Fazaro might only need new tires and is going to be a little cosmetic, if anything. That was a pretty good hit from Zhao, so I don't know the condition of Zhao's car. We'll see when he comes to pit road. But we are now under caution right at the point where pit stops were happening. And for those that came early, that's bad.
That's very bad. So I think that Joao is going to be okay because he really, I'm going to say kiss the wall because we see Clendy hit the wall many times and it's still the car running. So he have black flag for Joao Ritter for the incident. So it's going to be back to the grid once again.
So we're watching Clendy make his stop and see if any work was done on his car. 9.9 in the box, so I don't think any work was done. Clendy might be forced to live with whatever damage he has for the remainder of this 200-lap race. But back up front, Hunter Smith gets out first. He is the leader. Pinero jumps a number of spots. He's now second. Then we got Fortson in third, Fody in fourth, Schold coming out in fifth, Ethan Stanley in sixth, Presley Sora into the top 10 in seventh. Clendy is recovered a little bit to eighth. Albrecht cracks the top 10 in ninth, and Craig Forsyth in 10th. And let's see the status of the pace car. Maybe we get a chance to get some words in earlier. Yeah, we'll do a real quick side-by-side because we got a couple lap and a half before we go green. So okay. Let's get a word in from World Wide Technology Raceway about their upcoming Cup Series slate.
Race fans have had one burning question. When will the Xfinity Series return to World Wide Technology Raceway? You asked, NASCAR delivered. On Saturday, September 6, 2025, the magic is back. We're going to introduce you to a new crop of future champions and Hall of Famers, and we'll create more of the greatest moments in racing history. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year. 3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back. We gave you both the Xfinity and Cup slate coming up for Worldwide Technology Raceway in 2025. Going green at lap 55 of 200. Your leader, Hunter Smith, Pinero second, Fortson now third, Fody fourth, and Ryan Schold in fifth. As we are midway down the backstretch going into 3 and 4, getting ready to restart here and continue our 200-mile adventure, our 200-lap adventure, 300-mile race here at Chicagoland.
Race control decided don't give it to Joao the black flag, so he's still in 13th position with the green flag now.
Green flag in the air. Hunter Smith, Pinero off in the 1 and 2.
Now Joao Ritter have the black flag, so it's kind of confused what is going to happen now because the green flag is out. It means he have to serve the penalty in boxes. And they're going to cost maybe 1 lap down for him.
Yeah, that definitely put him a lap down, but unfortunately. I mean, there's still a long race to go. We still got just under 150 laps.
Oh, he lost the car! Oof. He almost collected maybe 2 or 3 cars.
He's not very happy either, I would imagine.
Oh, my God.
Meanwhile, back up front, Fortson's still the leader. as the entire top 10 is together. Clindy's sticking with it with the damage. Here's Presley Sora and Clindy battling it out for 8th spot, 7th spot. And they are lined up on the high side. 2 teammates right there, Fody and Stanley, trying to work together. Presley Sora in line with them as well. Scholl decides he wants to take it high. Cale Pocock to the top. Purple lap. Oh, Frankenfeld just stops him. Frankenfeld turns a lap of 2:20.7. And Chad, I mean, he's got a lot of, he stopped early, right? So he's a little upset. He and Kurnow and everybody that stopped early, they are seeing a little red at the moment, and they are wanting to get to the front quickly as possible. In fact, they're gonna spend most of the rest of their day running down the leaders.
Yeah, like you said, it's a long race, still long race, and 141 to go. So everything could have happened. Last time we talked about that, and Adriano Piñeiro with the last thing, he went to the back, and then we have a new winner at that race. So everything's gonna happen. Who knows? At least Chad is still live in the track.
Eyes on Andrew Wood and the faux wood-sided station wagon. Wood now up to 9th, up 18 spots. Your biggest gainer of the day. He has now cracked the top 10. These leaders need to watch out.
Pretty wide everywhere on the front.
Yeah, especially up at the front if they're going to race 3 wide, and one little twitch is going to collect 10 cars. Oh, and Scholl in the middle. It got really narrow in there. Oh, that was Sora. That was smacking the wall, coming into 1 a little bit. I think he got squeezed up and ran out of room on corner entry.
Oof, you're right. Oof. Yeah, what did you miss on the 15? Oh, okay. What did you always focus on your car on the left? It's happened to me. Where you focus on the cars on the left, and you think they have your right a lot of space, and then you figure out it's the wall next to you.
Well, folks, I think everything's okay with Clindy.
I think the car is pretty good for him because this
caution racetrack. Robert Hill, there he is. He's towed already.
I don't see it.
What happened? Oh, off a 2. So we'll go back a little bit further and see what happened. I think just a little.
I found it on the grass. Oh, there, right?
So we're watching Robert Hill. Good news for Robert is if he's a Canadian, he can go watch the hockey game. That is underway right now. He smacks the wall off a 2 and slides to the inside. And that is going to be a terminal hit for that car. That is day done for Robert Hill, unfortunately. And that is just as a result of, we've talked about this before, not so much that we talked about it last week at Legacy, Kentucky, but we've talked about this before on ovals like this, that if you get sucked up into the wall on corner exit, it's like a magnet there, and it won't let the car go.
Yeah, we talked about that many times. We experiment that sensation when you turn the wheel, it's still the wheel, and the wheel is going to the right, and it's just so annoying when it's happened that. So bad memory on the correct happened with Hill because remember some stuff what I saw in the real life, especially in Fontana with one of the geese not here around. So.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the track what happened. You think that the wall is very far, but it's close. Especially it's weird because it's happened with the new tires, Rebilas again mentioned 87, 92 in tires. So it's really not too much. What is the word? Bad tires, actually. Yeah. Oh no, we still have a grip for the tires. So Piñeiro went to the pits.
Yeah, in fact, we have two different competing pit strategies out there, and my supplemental overlay keeps dropping, and I'm wondering if there will be an update here to Race Lab apps because my standings page keeps dropping. But Pinheiro came in at 66, along with just about everyone else around him. Those in front of him that stayed out, Smith, Klindy, Schold, Albrecht, Wood, Mitchell, Blauman, all stayed out. So the top 7 all stayed out. Everyone behind the top 7 came to pit road. So now we have a plan A, which I believe, let's call plan A, those guys that just came to pit road, because I think really the strategy here is to hit pit road almost as many times as you can, just to make sure you have fuel to make that last stop either short or remove it altogether. Those that stayed out, I think, are on a bit of a gamble strategy, and they're hoping that there's more cautions to be in the future for this race in order to hold that track position and to make this stint last as long as possible.
Oh no, we have an incident on pits. Nelson Masaya have a black flag for hit somebody on the pits. It was Rafael Fusaro.
So that must have happened on pit road. We didn't see that, but he is getting cycled to the rear. Messias was up in like 11th spot.
I don't know why Adriano have a black flag too. Oh, he's cleaning now the black flag for him. And also Shad is clean the black flag. I don't know why, but I don't know. iRacing.
Yeah, I'm seeing both those two that are not being scored on the lap. So they must race control must be removing the black flag. I think we're getting ready to go green this time. Next time by, I think at lap 68, coming to 69.
Rafael, he have a midbow flag. So means he have a damage on the car. I think so. He's gonna park in the car because the incident with Nelson Messias.
All right, so we're going green here at lap 69 with Smith, Klindy, Schold, Albrecht, and Andrew Wood up 22 spots, and Shea Mitchell right behind him up 25 spots and 6. Here we go. Green flag back in Chicagoland for the 300-miler here for the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series.
Look at us going for the lead. With Hunter Smith is Clenworth is going to the front with the car with damage. That's close. Like 20 laps ago, we're talking about a lot about him, and now he's on the front battle for the lead.
And we're going to go 3 wide down the backstretch. It is Smith, Klindy, and Schold now. And while we do have Schold at the front, we should shout out that in December, ERN becomes the primetime home for Happy Hour at the Brickyard, your nightly destination for all the action leading up to the prestigious PRI Hoosier 500. Every night from 8 to 9 p.m., we'll bring you exclusive coverage straight from the track, practice sessions, drivers, interviews, expert analysis, and more, all building up the sim racing's biggest Indy 500 event. The last kiss of the bricks for 2025 is going to start here and over with our partners over on P1. The countdown is on, so pucker up and don't miss a second of the action. Like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in. We're going to see you all in December for the PRI Hoosier 500 right here for the practice sessions on ERN. Blauman now up into the top 10. He fights into 8th. He's on the high side, right in the draft of Andrew Wood. If there's one person I want to follow for this race right now, it's that guy. He is driven from deepest in the field to get up to where he is. Fortunately, Shea Mitchell at the restart's already dropped a number of spots, but he is still 19 spots improved in 12th. And Leighton Norgard gets around him there in the Krispy Kreme machine. Norgard and the looks very much like a fishing lure, all those colors and everything. I love it. Nice and bright. Can't miss it on the racetrack. Jim Herrick in a battle with Kurnow. He goes down low. Kurnow staying high in the draft of Herrick's teammate, Forsyth. Right in the battle is also Matty Wagner. Up front still Hunter Smith, showing him how it's done. He's sporting the PRI sponsorship. Now this car in the battle, that is Chris Albrecht. He stayed out, and he has worked his way up into the lead group as he just blinks out all of a sudden there. And hopefully he returns. I'm not getting him back.
Uh-oh, he's coming down and down and down.
That is like the third car I've had on camera that all of a sudden disappeared. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Who should we not focus on? That is not good. Chris Albrecht has gone all the way down, and he might have DC'd. So now we got Smith, Schold, Fortson, and Klindy, your top 5. Stanley now 5th. Blauman, Wood, Pinero, Frankenfeld, Norgard, and Fody. Shea Mitchell 12th. Forsyth 13th. Kurnow 14th. Wags in 15th, excuse me. Wags wishes he was in 5th. He might actually get there at some point in the race. We still got a lot of racing left in this thing. 78 of 200 in the record books for the first ever ERL race here at Chicagoland. If you're just joining us, this is ERN's coverage of the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series coming to you from Chicagoland Speedway. We've completed now 79 of his scheduled 200 laps. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so don't miss out on the next race.
Yep, it's DC for Chris Albrecht.
Doing so well in the race too. You hate to see it. You really do. Blauman trying to stay put, but not a draft buddy down the front stretch at this point. Now Klindy's going to come up and give a little bit of the draft help to Blauman. And now he'll get it also from Stanley. No help for Wood. Wood by himself on the racetrack down low going down the backstretch. Now I thought he was going to Brazilian slide the Brazilian for a second, but he thinks better of it. Side by side, Pinero and Wood. The number of wins and starts in an IndyCar these two have combined. Here comes Frankenfeld. He's recovered a little bit from getting caught on pit road, or at least stopping early when that caution came out. Oh, we have a score in Canada.
Oh no!
Yeah, Team Canada won, in USA nothing.
The race have to fight or no?
No, not fight yet. We'll see.
I don't want to pay for Sportnet. That just did that, and that's it. It's not really more interesting stuff in that platform.
We'll see if Team USA can answer down 1-0 for the finals of the Nations Cup. Anyways, it is Smith, Schold, Fortson, your top 3. Klindy, Blauman now up at the top 5. A little bit further back, Hunter Ingrave. Here he is, hot off a top 5 in the Formula Indy Series last night at Laguna Seca. That is not an easy track to race at. We did that last season here in the Elite Racing League. Stanley won that race, as a matter of fact. But he got a top 5. Ingrave did. Yeah, Caleb Bensie won the race last night. Of course, Caleb won the Indy 500 in 2024A. So we'll see him again when we get back to the Indy 500 in May. And here we go. Leaders up front, starting to bunch up now. Fortson the leader. Hunter Smith second. Fortson having a very good week. Very good week. Leading laps here in the ERL. Getting a win in the Votive Series Sunday night with me and you over on P1. Although there was a lot of cautions for that race. He's getting a lot more racing done this time.
But really spicy the finish that race with Santos.
Single file down through the tri-oval. Everybody's looking to save a little fuel and get a run on the car in front of them. Frankenfeld passing Kurnow off the exit of 2. Pocock and Watson back in 16th spot. Pocock getting around Watson.
Chris Albers said, I don't know what has happened. I still can't get back to the race. Something happened with his connection. I don't know.
Nelson Messiah is now back into the top 20. The Gas Man, earning that nickname by winning a fuel mileage race at Dover in the Indy Oval Series. And we're going to Dover in about 3 weeks, so everybody get ready. We have what I call the murderer's row of a schedule coming up. Next race for us is at Sonoma, then 500 miles at Fontana, followed by 248 laps at Dover. These next 3 races are going to be absolute murder for these drivers. As we're in the middle of a 5-week run before we have our next break, before we go to Long Beach for one of our crown jewel events this season. Messias around Ingrave up top, moving him up to 19th. Go ahead.
I think so. This is the easy ones. Like the oval. I don't want to say oval is easy. Still difficult for everyone, especially with the rookies stuff and people getting debuted in this league. But you know what? After that, the race 4 we have in this long journey we have, it's gonna be Barber for 90 laps, and then Long Beach for another lighting lap. So Long Beach, it is tough. I said Laguna Seca is tough, also Dover is tough, but bumpy race in Long Beach with all that stuff.
Oh, contact with Fortson. No, that's Hunter Smith. I think that was between Smith and his teammate Scholl. As now they're getting bound up behind him as Kurnow finds the quickest way through on the bottom and he gets on by. Notice something happened to Presley Sora. He is out. He finished on the podium in our first race of the season. So he is done for the day. He's sitting on pit road. Currently there are Hearn, Morera, and Albrecht have returned. They're out there turning laps, but they are well down in the order. Hearn 7 laps, Morera 8 laps, Albrecht 13 laps down. So we have some cars that are still running. We're still pretty close to 30 cars out there, though. Fazaro, Ritter, Hill, and Hibbs, are shown out. Kurnow going around Ethan Stanley in the 7th.
I don't see problems on Sora in 5 laps ago, 6 laps ago. Maybe it's I don't know. He just parked in the car just for the reason it was very back on the field, and at some point you feel like it's not worth it to still on the back, just doing laps and laps and laps. He was in the 24th position front to Dan Morera. He was 8 laps down.
Well, I mean, it's also possible that, this is a virtual car. These are virtual races, and sometimes things happen in real life that causes that we need to stop whatever we're doing. Crying baby, something fell in the house, and you got to go stop and see what happened, and whatever. It happens. This is real life.
or maybe he hit the wall. We don't know in which moment he did the wall, because he was very far for the group and the field. So that's why maybe, like you said, maybe it's happened that too, or maybe because really hit the wall and the car is not going when it hit back.
So you see the top 6 all in your frame of the camera right there. Glindy now to the lead. Fortson second. Schold, Pinero, Blauman, and Hunter Smith. Jordan Kurnow just out of the picture with Stanley. And just behind him is Andrew Wood and a Leighton Norgard. 9th and 10th. Norgard looking at fighting into the top 10 again. He's up 13 spots.
And Adriano is going back to the front. He's making the pass on Clendy. Clendy's lost one more position on Ryan Schultz. Yeah, it's going on the front. These two guys, Treston and Adriano, with 34 laps in the same tires. Those tires, sorry.
And we're looking at the car of Ethan Stanley, sponsored by Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track. Connecting with your customers with Blue Egg, you're always on the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels. Accelerate success with Blue Eggs, fueling small businesses to win big. To learn more about Blue Egg, click on their link in the description. And Brian Blauman coming to pit road for a scheduled stop. He has lapped 48 into his stint. So remember, he stayed out. He lapped. He last pitted 48 laps ago.
He's came on laps then 100. Oh, already clicked that thing. Anyway, so yeah, he race lap would be away when he pit before. So. Maybe it's gonna come in Ryan Schultz, Clendy, Smith, Wood is maybe gonna come in soon, and it rocks maybe 3 or 4 laps because they have a 50.
They're 51 laps on their stint. Clendy, Schultz, Smith. So we expect to see them make the turn down pit road. Takeshi Kida also in the same boat, but he's down a lap. And then they what they need to do is when they get to pit road and make their stop, they just got to pray that this does not go under caution.
Yeah, for sure. That's the big problem, especially when Adriano. That's the gamble. This is the real gamble. When you're I always like to stay. Coming in before everyone because always happen. Always is like
Clendy, pit road.
My fault. Yep, it's coming out, and yeah, it's tough to think about it.
Locks the tires up, gets down to the limit, now on pit road. A painfully slow 45 miles an hour. As we watch him make the angle to his stall.
Me, this Punta car is gonna go to the track. Oh, he collected Andrew Wood.
Oh no, and we're cautioned. And Messias is in that, and that is exactly what Clendy didn't want, and we're gonna have to go back and look at that and see what happened. It's starting already, but the apron here is extremely slippery. And so he makes the call to come to pit road. He comes down, and you even have to adjust your brake bias here on the apron here. That you can't have it in a normal position. So he's probably doing all that, then slowing down, and it's just slippery down there. And he has a car in front of him, but that car is clear. He just comes on around. And he goes up and collects Andrew Wood, Craig Forsyth, and that is also Nelson Messias that gets caught into that thing.
So lucky thing because
Richie Hearn. Richie Hearn was in it as well.
So lucky because the other guy in front to him is Ryan Schultz, and he saw the incident and he avoided to enter the pit.
Watch this. Andrew Wood, just no place to go. Oh my goodness. And wow. I mean, that really shifts up the field, and we're going to talk about it here. Pinero coming off pit road. He made his stop. Treston Fortin second. Stanley now third. Frankenfeld fourth. Foti fifth. We're going to see some drivers get the wave around. Clindy will get the wave around. Blauman will get the wave around. They will rejoin the end of the field. Albrecht, he'll get a wave around, but he had a DC issue. And he will only just get one of his laps back. He's kind of down in the order. Same thing with Morera. He will get the wave around, but again, he had a DC earlier in the race, and he's just making some laps here, trying to get some positions. But with a multi-car incident like that, they will get some positions, unfortunately, but not the way they really wanted to. But that's the way it's going to really have to happen in this case. And there they go, getting the wave around. So Pinero Pinero inherits the lead by pit strategy instead of losing a lead like last week.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Andrew Wood. He came for the good strategy. He came very good for him. But once again, I mentioned Ryan Schultz. So he came to the pit. He saw the yellow flag, and he's still in the battle for the race. So, but for Clendy, because he's going back to 18 after pit stop. But we still 92 to go to the end.
And let's get a quick word in from iRacing, and we'll be right back before we go green.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back in time as we're going green at lap 111. Pinero, Fortson, Stanley, Frankenfeld, Foti, your top five as this whole incident over in turn two, and it was started there by Hunter Smith and collected a number of cars, has really shaken up the field. And here's a battle for the lead. Fortson to the inside of Pinero, move Fortson back to the point. Clindy already up 3 spots. Further on back on a high run on Rebilas. Just launches by like a rocket ship, and now he's got Victor Aldrich in his sights. Look at this. And another spot. So Clindy already up to 14th. Talk about a rocket restart. Holy cow.
Really good restart for Clendy. Also, it's kind of a slow car in the middle, in between all this car. Craig Forsyth complained about one of the cars going slow, and then he almost collected Dave Huckleberry over there, Clendy. So for rate control, they don't want to make a decision of that restart in between that group. But good restart for Clendy.
The ERL IndyCar Series is proudly sponsored by Warriors for Peace. Warriors for Peace is an Indianapolis-based nonprofit organization working to end violence and to inspire peaceful change. Founded in memory of Jack Shockley, they support youth through scholarships, mentoring, and community programs. To learn more or to support their mission, visit their webpage at warriorsforpeace.org or follow one of their socials today. All the links you need are in the description. We want to thank Warriors for Peace for their continued support of this signature series and championship for the Elite Racing League. Forts and Frankenfeld now up at the front as he's regained all those spots he left, or that he lost when he hit that early pit stop during the first stint. Foti now third, winner last week. Pinero, defending series champion, fourth. Ethan Stanley in fifth. Leighton Norgard, shout him out, up to sixth. And Matty Wags there in the 7-Eleven Special, driven by Tony Kanaan. When he won his IndyCar championship in that livery, he is eighth. Shout out to Cale Pocock. He is in ninth. Cale up 11 spots. And Jordan Kernow also recovering from that early pit stop that caught him on pit road when the caution came out. He is now 10th. Hunter Ingrave 11th. Clendy Dow 12th. I want to say, Lewis, I mean, you see a lot of these drivers in other series during the week. I'm looking up and down this entire top 15. Every single one of these drivers either is a regular here in the Elite Racing League in one of their other series, or they are very active in the IndyCar community in another one of the leagues and are very accomplished. We have really, this is an all-star, star-studded field that we got right here at the front of the pack, and they're 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, let's make the honest. When we see the list, we see new names around in December. We saw the list, all these people, but we didn't expect it to be this kind of level. And it is kind of expertise for all of these guys, from 15 with Craig Forsyth to the front with Frankenfeld. It's a good field, and it's a good championship league we have over here. It's one of the top one, and I'm really proud to be here, talking about all of these guys, especially when Stanley is still running in the other leagues that we have in ERM, and is here raced once again and battle for the top 5.
3 wide for the lead. Fortson comes down and gives a little bit of a side draft nod to Frankenfeld, and he holds the spot. Foti's trying to get a run on the high side to see if he can get around those two. Right now, that's the only place he can go, but he stalls out as soon as he gets up there. But they are 3 wide again. Here comes Adriano. Now, Adriano will go up there and try it.
I think Adriano have to wait for we still have a lapse. He needs to remain the what he did last time. Now he's in the good spot. We still have laps to go, but just leave it. These guys, that's what I'm thinking about Adriano. Just gonna leave these guys to battle. I wanna keep it over here, chill to the big moment.
Here's a battle between Pocock and Wagner for 8th and 9th. Pocock really getting that car to rotate on the bottom. He about Brazilian cleared in front of Matt Wagner, but he held it down. Now they're side by side through the trial very end of 1. Following him through is Jordan Kernow. Clendy up to 11th.
Oh, it's a lot of action around Clendy with Kernow, and then Wagner with Norgard, and then Adriano Pinheiro tried to do the 4Y in turn 2, and now he's clear with 40, so now he's in the top 3.
That has been a nickname I've given him in the past, but he took it 4 wide at Talladega. You can't really take it 4 wide here, but 4 wide he took it, and now we're 3 wide back into 1, and he will try working that top side until he gets it to work. Fortson and Frankenfeld getting really close to banging wheels down low.
I think so if you want to save a tire like Adriano do it, it makes sense to use the 3rd line. But yeah, ooh, that's close for Treston too. Okay, so Chad said, but this is my fault because I went too close to you. So yeah, I think the line is good for Chad. The moment Chad lose this line and get dirty air, it's gonna be kind of difficult for him to come back to the lead.
All the leaders 20 laps into their stint after the last caution, so everybody about halfway through a run. It is still 1-0 Canada over Team USA, with about 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first. But back here, the action hot on the racetrack. Frankenfeld, Fortson, Pinero, Foti, and Ethan Stanley at the point. Then Norgard, Schold, Wagner, Pocock, and Klindy, now your top 10. Really, you could throw an entire blanket. Let's go back further back. There's Hunter Ingrev in 14th. There's Watson in 15th. There's Camargo in 16th. Victor Aldrich, 17th. On the lead lap still. Huckerberry. Dave right there. He is last car. Actually, no, there's another car still on the lead lap. He's in 18th. Rebilas, Mark Rebilas, he's back there just watching all the action unfold of him in front of him. And he is in 19th. Last car on the lead lap. He's probably banking on maybe a big one happening, and he's just giving a lot of space right here. But if the big one does happen, he's going to be in the prime time spot for it. Foti, Stanley, Schold in a battle right here for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
It's funny because you mentioned all of these guys on the back, and when you in on the back, you see on the front, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to go over there.
Like, those guys are absolutely nuts. I'm not going up there.
Yeah, but when you go to the front, to 40, you see these 3 wide with a lot space in between each other. And it's like, oh, nothing happened. No, Adriano is going to the front and then going to the 3rd line again. And it's that for 5 or 10 laps. So it's like, everything under control. But if you go on the back, you see a lot of people waving, do this, do that. And yeah, it's like, oh, what's supposed to do? I stay here? No, I'm going to stay here. But the main thing is you have to go to the front and try to do your best to the results. That's the game we play every day when you're race in oval.
Well, Foti and Stanley do have the numbers advantage up in the top 5. They're the only teammates up there. Now, if Schold can get up into the top 5, he'll join Frankenfeld with the Little Eagle squad. Fortson and Pinero don't have teammates in the lineup. Watching from the Robbie Gordon cam on Ethan Stanley's car as we launch down the front stretch. Let's go a little bit further on back. Let's check out Klindy. Interweaving wheels with Wags.
So Robbie Gordon started in IndyCar. He was in NASCAR and came to IndyCar.
He actually started in super trucks, off-road trucks.
And then at some point he came to IndyCar.
Yeah. And he started with AJ Foyt. Oh! Lauman just cuts right across the camera on the back of Wagner's car. Oh, Norgard weaving right next to Clindy. Didn't mean to do that. Now getting a run on Scholl, trying to get a pass on the high side. Here comes Clindy, big run. He's going to stay up high. I think he got the wall.
He kissed the wall, but nothing bad for Clindy for now. It's pretty funny, Robbie Gordon, actually. I remember he came for the Dakar in Chile. So he got out of fuel for his Hammer. So he went to this fuel service and he tried to communicate with the guy without knowledge of Spanish and English to try to tell him, I need to fuel, but fuel they have to buy free. I don't want to pay you. So he tried to tell them, I need to fuel. And the guy said, no, you have to pay me. I said, I don't have money. You have to give me the fuel for free. But it's a Hammer. They have I don't know how many gallons he needs to. And he came this woman to say, hey, he need to fuel. And the guy said, okay, but who's going to pay me? I don't know, just put the fucking fuel. I said, and he's like, okay, and it's a fuel. I need to fuel. Fuel.
I don't have the beep button for that one, but I hear you. I hear you.
But it's funny. It's funny. And he got the fuel and he left without pay.
Oh, Team USA scores.
Oh no.
1-1 tied. Yeah. All right, Frankenfeld, Fortson, Pinero. Your leaders right now at lap 142 of 200. If you enjoy ERN's coverage of the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future ERN broadcasts. So here we go here, getting into very shortly the last 50 laps of this race. Everybody still needs to come to pit road at least one more time. 143 of 200, 3 wide for the lead, as we've seen a number of times between these three drivers throughout this entire stint. Frankenfeld, Fortson, Pinero. We have our reigning Indy 500 champion. We have our defending series champion, two-time defending series champion at that. Now he cuts to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to try to slide. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to go for a big run on the outside. I thought he might try to follow through Frankenfeld and get the drop on Fortson, but he is still trying to get the high side of the work. I'm not sure if Pinero is going to get the high side of the work. This track has always been low side favorite, even going back to the old IRL days here.
So I'm going to say maybe Adriano is make some like a test to the end.
Maybe.
To see if it works or if it's not work. He maybe did for 20, 25 laps to try to see that, but it's hard because somebody had to make the mistake. But it's easy to keep it the second line, what is Treston doing now, and Shad is not giving up with that line where they have in the inside. But once again, if it's Shad, leave that line and get dirty air, it's gonna go back and back and back because that tire is maybe overheated and also no grip. Maybe to going with dirty air.
And I just noticed on the overlay, Wagner, it just says Matt. Oh, well, we'll get it fixed for the next race. I don't know what happened there. I know I put the right name in the right column, so I don't know. We'll go back and look, but there we go. And Wagner now, even though it says Matt on the tree, right. He's in 7th spot. That is Matty Wagner, driving the 7-Eleven livery, made most famous by Tony Kanaan. Although it was another Brazilian before him that drove the 7-Eleven car to its very first IndyCar victories, and that was Emerson Fittipaldi when he drove for Pat Patrick. He drove the 7-Eleven car. Here's Hunter Ingrave. He's around James Watson for 13th. Hunter doesn't see a lot of oval tracks in the Formula Indy Series. They will next week when they go to Milwaukee. But he's showing that he knows what he's doing on these oval tracks as he's now up 4 spots from where he started. He's in 13th. Wags to the high side of Norgard and move him now up to 7th if he can keep that head of steam rolling on the high side. Frankenfeld protecting the bottom. He's not staying off it. Go ahead.
I want to know how many contact they have between Chad and Treston in all of this team. Because Frankenfeld went high and Treston went down and he make a contact again. So maybe they have many contact times 0 or maybe times 2 each other because that was close to have an incident over there.
Clindy, I've noticed Clindy here lately, although the one time I was getting ready to say it about him, he went 3 wide with somebody, but I've noticed that he's been now mostly following someone in the draft, trying to conserve fuel. And I believe I'm looking at much of this field, and much of this field is doing that same thing. There is some degree of racing going on out there. There we see Norgard and Wags in a battle again, but a lot of single file now as we're getting closer to our final stop before getting to the end of this race. And you want to go as deep into this run as possible, and then you want to hit pit road and not put the least amount of fuel as possible to get out of this race.
Oh, Chris Forza is coming first for the last pit stop. It's at 45.
So Forsyth, 45. Also Fortson right behind him. Kurnow right behind him. He's 45 laps into the stint. Now, Frankenfeld, he has not drafted off very many cars this entire time, but he has gone pretty deep into the count. So
right.
I'm wondering if those guys a little bit further back are stopping early, maybe to go for a shorter fill and maybe try some fresh tire, lighter tank laps. I don't know. Maybe they're trying for the undercut. We'll see.
Frankenfeld could be coming in the next 3 or 4 laps because I counted for the big should be is 53, like a kind of low consume. So Treston is coming now.
Yeah, Schold went 56. Clindy went 54. Those are the biggest that we've seen in terms of runs.
Oh no! Ooh. He almost Treston again.
Oh, he did, but he held it. He did good job. Now he needs to get down to. Oh, look at Blauman. Blauman came in really quick as well, very controlled. He closed the gap on Fortson. So a good pit in for Fortson, or a good pit in for Blauman.
Scott is coming. Adriano stay, and Clendy follow him. Scott.
Schold also on pit road. Final stops for this trio right here. Kidda on pit road. And these guys should almost be in a line together. Here we go. Hitting the marks. Service is stop. Okay, so last up on the jacks is Schold. So he's going to be last down. And Clindy down and away, and I think Clindy gets the drop on Frankenfeld and move Clindy up 1 spot.
So Clindy did 8.6, but Shaq did 9.8. Maybe he have a damage on the car.
Yeah, there come racing off the corner. Chad's like, I want it back. They got to work together as they want to make sure they cooperate as much as possible. Meanwhile, up front, here is Pinero, here is Stanley, here is Fody. Actually, Pinero and Stanley. Fody is a little out of the picture. There he is. Norgard coming to pit road. Wagner staying out. James Watson on the apron for his final stop.
Piñeiro and Stahl is coming next time by.
Oh, Watson into the inside wall.
Uh-oh.
Pinheiro, pit road, Stanley, final stop, underway. Blauman goes fastest that time, 221 flat. So he's trying for the undercut. He's a man on the roll. Here comes Foti. He catches up. Wagner does the same thing. Pocock actually gets in there pretty hot. Foti really closed the gap on these guys. So we're going to see them when they come to pit road. Watching final stops underway here at the Elite Indy 300 here at Chicagoland Speedway. Schold, fastest lap that time by 2:21.6. And Foti getting a drop on his teammate, but Pinheiro coming out ahead.
Look at that, the two lines they decide. Stanley on the inside. Wow, he almost lose it. And Pinheiro for outside. And Pinheiro went a little more fast than these two guys.
Well, Pinheiro is going to hold the lead as the leaders now are lined up about a second behind him. We'll see when this shakes out here on the timing and scoring. Hunter Ingrave is your leader. He's coming to pit road right now. So that will turn the lead over to Pinheiro. Pinheiro is a lap down to Ingrave, so he needs to get it on back on the racetrack. But he has himself... let's get on the gaps. Let's get on...
1 second.
Yeah. Back to Foti. Hunter Ingrave, final stop down and away, moving on pit road, but here come the leaders. They will pass him on pit road. Unfortunately, he is just standing still compared to them hitting 220 on the racetrack, as he is now rapidly going down the order, but he will rejoin here. He should be lightest on fuel than everybody. That should be the final car to make a stop. Pinheiro, your leader, Foti second, Stanley now third, Frankenfield fourth. Clindy is in fifth, Blauman sixth, Craig Forsyth in seventh, Schold back to eighth, Norgard ninth, and Treston Fortin, unfortunately, the biggest loser. He came to pit road kind of up among the leaders, but now he's back in 10th. He's going to really run down the leaders here in this final portion of the race. Clindy on a charge. Yes, indeed. Oh, Clindy, Blauman side by side. Blauman decided to go high, not giving himself a lot of room. Clindy weaving a little bit, but they still keep it off one another. They got to work together. They got to try to run down Pinheiro. And actually that lead pack has got there. So Foti now on Pinheiro. Pinheiro's going to stay on the bottom. What's the likelihood of Pinheiro coming off the bottom for the remainder of this race, Lewis?
That's lucky for him because he did a good stop. 7.9 on box, so he beat all of these guys, so he just needs to stick it over there. Or the only way he can lose it is Foti stay on front of the Pinheiro and the yellow flag is out.
All right, so we've done our final stops. What we're going to do is we're going to get our last words in here from World Wide Technology Raceway, and then we'll be back for the remainder of this race commercial-free. Stand by as we are getting a quick word in from World Wide Technology Raceway.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. World Wide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year. Since 2010, race fans have had one burning question. When will the Xfinity Series return to World Wide Technology Raceway? You asked, NASCAR delivered. On Saturday, September 6, 2025, the magic is back. We're going to introduce you to a new crop of future champions and Hall of Famers, and we'll create more of the greatest moments in racing history. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we're back. Want to thank our other sponsors, Blue Egg Marketing, fueling small businesses to win big. To learn more about Blue Egg, make sure you click on their link in the description. They are a proud sponsor there of Ethan Stanley, who's giving them a lot of TV time. He's in third place right now. And also, we want to thank Warriors for Peace for continuing to be the series sponsor for the Elite Racing League's IndyCar Series. Thank you very much. And we are putting on a heck of a show here for Warriors for Peace. We're a lap 174 of 200, getting into the final 25 of this race. It is Pinero, Foti, Stanley, Frankenfeld, and now Blauman. Blauman up 11 spots from where he started. Very quietly has now crept into the top 5, and he's going to be a player here at the end. Norgard looking at another good finish. He's in 6th, up 17 spots. Yeah, they're trying. Those teammates, Foti and Stanley, are trying to get a run on the high side, and it's not going to happen with the way that just the Indy cars here. You can hold the bottom line, and you pretty much control the lead. Now, let's check the weather, because that will be a roll. And actually, the track temp has cooled off, which is to Pinero's advantage, because it's 93 degrees Fahrenheit, and we started at this thing over 100, and we've seen in the past that, let's say, a driver like Foti can get on the high side of Pinero and crowd him and cause Pinero to turn that wheel extra hard in the corner to keep his car pinned down to that white line, and then it helps warm his tires up to the point that he can't hold that bottom line anymore, and he starts floating up the racetrack, and then Foti or the driver in second can get a run either up high or down low and kind of get a pass on the position. We've seen it happen before in top split races over on P1. We haven't really seen it happen here yet today, but it takes laps and laps and laps just to set that up. And with 22 to go, Foti needs to be working that now. Otherwise, it's just going to be Pinero holding the bottom all the way to the checkered flag for this race.
I think it's, like you said, they can work together as a team, or Foti have to squeeze to the first line Adriano Pinheiro, especially in the turn 3 and 4. They cannot leave Adriano Pinheiro to turn the car up. So also could be a good advantage for Foti or Stanley, especially with Chad, is work with the lap down.
Whoa. Shea Mitchell getting in the battle here from lap down, unfortunately. And Stanley didn't quite know where to go. Shea Mitchell's going to stay high and to the outside. Everyone else going to go to the inside for him right now. Got tight there for a bit.
Look at that Pinheiro, how he's pulled down his tires going up, and they're going down to try to cool down. He don't want to use the first line. He knows the tires could be overheated. Look at that. he's cooled down the tires to at least keep it a little bit down, the tires overheated.
Stanley this time taking a look. So my take is normally when I've seen these draft races and you get in the position is I kind of wait until that driver that's leading kind of gets complacent and opens the bottom up. And all they have to do is open it up a little bit for me to get my front wheel there. And if they come down on me, then they're going to wreck both of us. But if they don't come down, then I'm going to get the position at the end of the straightaway. And I think that's what Stanley's trying to do is see if Pinheiro is going to open up the bottom. But Pinheiro is savvy enough that I don't think he's going to come an inch off that white line on corner exit.
We talking about on Tuesday when they asked how you gonna pass in Phoenix, so you have to wait for the mistake. But how you gonna wait for the mistake for Robert Maleska or Oster? Now we are gonna ask it the same question: how are you gonna pass the first guy? It is Adriano Pinheiro without mistake. I know he's doing this low high and then low high because he's cooled down the tires, but Stanley he needs to start to test or make like a attempt to pass Adriano to make a squeeze him and inside and try to risk the victory. So if you want to win, you have to do everything for to happen. So it's happened to Hornich with Scorshark and Hornich with I see Hornich doing many times.
Yep.
And from 2000, 2002, and he win many races. We squeeze the guy on the first line.
Well, Stanley and Pinheiro now starting to pull away from fourth and fifth. Norgard and Tyler Fode. I'm wondering if Tyler used up those tires attacking because he is now falling back. Frankenfeld getting around him. Now Chad is in a position where he's going to try to reel this in, and yes, they got really close off the corner exit between Stanley and Pinheiro. And maybe Frankenfeld is just waiting for something to happen, some contact to happen. These two take each other out, but he is a very interested party right now. We will, with 12 to go, we'll ride with our Indy 500 winner. And we got lap traffic way up there. We got Dan Marrera, at least one of the cars, 4.7 seconds up the road. If I'm Frankenfeld, I follow through. I'm gonna leave Stanley out there to hang. But he lost a little momentum. He lost a little momentum on the bottom, and so he now has to reel him back in.
It's not Stanley and Chad teammate.
No.
Because you know what? If you can make a teammate, Chad can come in very far, with a lot of speed on the back. Stanley can open the door and he can gain the position on the front. But because there's no teammate, they cannot think about that. But it could make sense. Like a shot coming on the back with that distance and just going for draft and try to take the first position on Adriano Pinheiro on turn 2 on turn 4. For example, now Chad have to be close, and the other guy had to open the door and just going through. But yeah, they're not teammates.
Now Chad is there. He's going to try the high side just to give himself clean air for the front wing planes of that car to help it rotate to the corner. Even with the banking, clean air makes the difference in helping these cars rotate through. They're going to go single file off the corner. 8 laps to go, coming to 7 to go. Your 2-time and defending IndyCar champion, Adriano Pinheiro, is your leader. The guy that fought him all season long, had 2 wins last season, Ethan Stanley. He's right there with him. And with the breakthrough Indy 500 win last season, Chad Frankenfeld looking for another championship in his future here in the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series. He is third, looking to get another win on the resume today. The top 3 all underneath a blanket. Fode back and forth, Blauman 5th as they're starting to pull away from that battle. And Matty Wags moved himself up to 6th very quietly. Norgard 7th, Schold 8th, Clindy in 9th, and Craig Forsyth in 10th.
Ryan Chul's on the wall. Ryan Chul in the wall, and he's got to lose position. He already lose like a.
Now he just needs to hope he can bring the car home.
He hit very hard.
Oh, Fode on the outside of Frankenfeld. So while we're watching Schold, something happened with him. Frankenfeld losing touch. Fode letting the tires cool off. He's going to make one last attack here with 4 laps to go. It's still Pinero and Stanley side by side going through 3 and 4, coming to 3 to go at the line. Still Pinero down low with a nose, half a car, full car now, off the corner, on the bottom, down the backstretch, now side by side. Stanley pulls it alongside. Now we arc into the corner. Again, Pinero pulls out a little bit. Now has a full car length. Stanley falling back. He's going to try to get a big run. He needs a big run in order to pull this pass off. 2 to go. Stanley gets a big run. He's going to go arc it out on the outside. Can he pull alongside Pinero? He crowds him just a little bit. They're going to go side by side off the corner, down the backstretch. A lap and a half to go. Coming to the white flag this time by Stanley, attacking on the high side. He's going to get one more run at it. Coming off the corner, he's going to stay high, tuck back in. He's not going to have the run that he did last time. White flag at the line. Here we go. 1 lap to go here at Chicagoland. It is Pinero, Stanley, and Fode going into 1 and 2. One more time. Down the backstretch. Pinero is going to stay low, but he comes up to the middle of the track. They're going to have lap traffic in front of him, and they are within dirty air distance coming off the corner to the checkered flag. Up high, Pinero. He is going to get the win, followed by Stanley and Fode.
Maybe 3 or 5 more laps could be really, really interesting finish with this 3 lap down on the front of him. Could be disaster race for Adriano, but it's not gonna happen. Adriano Pinero win the race, the first one of the season.
Just spinning out.
Close.
Whew. And it was a good race. It was a good finish. A nice close finish here. Let's get the final results in here from Chicagoland Speedway. Pinero, winner by a 10th over Stanley, and a winner by 2/10 over Fode. That's a good start to the season for Tyler Fode. He gets a win at the first race of the season, and now a second podium. That's really going to help him, propel him further into the points battle. Frankenfeld, way better race than he had last time. And I'm sure he's really going to like this finish. At least it's miles ahead from where he was at Kentucky. He comes home 4th. Blauman in 5th. A good finish for him. Norgard, another top 10 for Norgard in 6th. Matty Wags in 7th. Clindy in 8th. And Forsyth and Pocock round out to your top 10. Ryan Schold, unfortunately, gets outside of the top 10 after smacking the wall late in the race. But, again, a much better race for him than what happened 2 weeks ago at Legacy, Kentucky. Tristan Fortson never could quite get back up to the front after really commanding a lot of this race. Not sure what happened on his last pit stop. Maybe he missed a spot in the box or something, but he ends up falling down to 12th. Hunter Ingrev, 13th. Not a bad finish for him. Camargo, 14th. Huckleberry, Dave, gets himself very quietly a top 15. That's how you do it right there. Victor Aldrich 16th, James Watson 17th with his little mishap on pit road, coming to pit road anyways. Kurnow in 18th, Rebilas in 19th, and Kidda in 20th. Dan with the DC comes home 21st. Albrecht also with the DC comes home 22nd. Shea Mitchell 23rd. Herrick 24th. Hunter Smith, unfortunately, 25th. On a day he probably wants to forget doing so well until the incident coming to pit road. Mid-race, Andrew Wood getting collected by him in 26th. Messias also getting collected at an incident in 27th. Richie Hearn as part of that incident in 28th. Wesley Sora had to eject early today. He comes home 29th, Pizarro in 30th. Joe Ritter in 31st, Robert Hill in 32nd, and Gavin Hibbs early out for our New Hampshire winner a couple of seasons ago in 33rd. Wow, nice size field. I will give the league very, very good credit. Anytime you could get more than 25 or so to show up, if you can get 30, that's really good. And we don't see it very often. We see it a lot with the Formula Indy Series over on P1, but ERL putting 30 on the grid for the starting grid here for an IndyCar race. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Good job, guys. Very good job.
Very good job, Adriano, because he made one more lap and he out of the fuel. So, very good race, though. Really good racing. 2 yellows. And 70th spot for the driver of the day, Norgard. From 23. Very good for Norgard today.
All right. All right, we'll cue the music out there and get into the interview room. Get a good close-up there of Fode's car. Our points leader coming home in 3rd. We'll clear off those graphics as well. And let's go ahead and check out Tyler here real quick. And we'll bring him on up. And Tyler Fode joining myself, LGN, here in the booth. Hey, man, good follow-up to a win 2 weeks ago at Kentucky. A very similar racetrack, but also a very different racetrack in many different ways. But the key here is you kept it off the wall, you kept it green, and you brought it home for a 3rd place. And, other than maybe getting 2 wins to start the season, a 1st and a 3rd, really, you can't get much better than that.
No, man, super happy to be here again talking with y'all. Yeah, that was the goal. Just podium was the real goal, top 5 at the worst, to try and maintain the points deal. It's going to be how I kind of approach it all season. But, yeah, just avoided the chaos early on. Yeah, I knew it was going to come down to that final green flag stop on who could get out first and get to the bottom. Was trying to work with Stanley there, with one of us maybe jumping him, but Pinero was just too good with the cycle there, and I gave it a shot there outside of him for a little bit, but we were all having to save gas, so kind of backed off there, let Stanley have a shot, see if he could get him. And Chad kind of caught me sleeping there and stole 3rd, so I had to get that back on him right at the end.
Well, that's my follow-up is actually that last battle. Yeah, you just answered it for me. You said that you were saving fuel. We were wondering if maybe you cooked the tires by trying to run on the high side of Adriano, and it just wasn't happening, and you fell back, and then you cooled the tires off and attacked again. Not the case. You just had to fall back because of fuel, and then once the number became real again, you were able to attack?
Yeah, pretty much. I felt really good, honestly, with the tire wear all night. We had a good setup going there. Me and Stanley kind of got it dialed in, and tire wear wasn't too big a deal. It was mainly fuel. And yeah, like I said, I was dropping back to get some gas while he was going on the attack with Pinero, and yeah, Chad kind of snuck by me. So the last 10 laps, I was setting up the move back on him, and I don't know how much you caught of it, but it was very close. I didn't know if he was going to totally block or just kind of shade up there, and I wasn't lifting, so we got the nose there and we're able to get it back. So happy about it.
Well, congratulations on the P3 again. A great start to the season. 2 ovals, a first and a third. Now we're moving off to the road course at Sonoma. We kind of got as I call the murderer's row of a schedule over the next 5 weeks here. We go to a very hard road course at Sonoma. Then we're going to go to a 500-mile race at Fontana. Then we're going to do almost 250 miles at Dover, and then we're also going to do 90 laps at Barber. So these next couple of races are going to be, I think, the pivotal races in the championship. It is really, if you could survive these races and make it through, I think the second half of the season is a lot easier than the first half. But looking at the outlook of this upcoming schedule, I know you got to feel pretty good about a couple of those ovals coming up. And I know you got some shout-outs you want to make as well of family, friends, and sponsors that you want to say hi to before we let you go.
Yeah, for sure. As far as the schedule goes, yeah, it's pretty brutal. If I can be up here talking to y'all every week, or at least getting top 5, I think I'll be okay with that. Now, road courses a little different. I think if I can be 5 to 7, maybe we'll see. But yeah, just got to be consistent. And just try and be there by the end of the season with the least amount of issues and DNF that you can. And then, yeah, as far as everyone tonight, obviously the Lake Norman guys, just me and Stanley for the team in Indy this season, but always fun running with him. JD Designs, Jonathan Cutlip for painting both of our cars. Love the way they came out. And, yeah, you guys up here in the booth, always great watching the races back, so I'm sure this one will be a good watch too.
Well, congrats on the P3. Great start to the season. We'll catch you at the next road course, the first road course, a week from now in Sonoma next Thursday.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
See ya. All right, and that is Tyler Fody. And next up is his teammate, Ethan Stanley, and the Blue Egg car. We'll bring him up here. Here is Ethan in one of our premier sponsors' car, the New Egg Delara. A good recovery race from last week, getting a P2 here this week. And then we're also, after that, headed off to a road course, which you showed a big strength for last season, with, I believe, 2 of your wins on the road courses last season. But talk about your race here today. It was just a battle of who could get to the bottom first, and then after that, it's hope for a mistake, but then you're asking an awful lot because that's Adriano Pinero in front of you, and he's not a 2-time and defending series champion for making mistakes.
Yeah, most of the race was just sitting there in the pack and just kind of trying to save while trying to keep track position at the same time. And then, yeah, there at the end, just can't really get past Pinero once he's on the line, and got no other cars really up there to help with the draft. So, yeah, I felt like I had a pretty decent race, though. Executed the final stop perfectly. Was able to save as much as Adriano and Tyler. So, pretty happy with the P2 there.
How much did you have to end up saving, really, in order to get to the end there?
So, to get to that final run, I think I ended up saving about 8 laps of gas total over the run.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and mostly just riding 3 around the top, because if you hold the top, it's really hard for somebody to pass, and you can just kind of save fuel up there. And yeah, glad we got a green run at the end there too. It was pretty nice not having to have a caution.
Well, how you feeling with the momentum now coming out of this to and not to say oval racing wasn't your strength last season. I mean, heck, you propelled yourself to the lead of the points until the very last race of the season because of just consistency on the oval and getting 2 wins on the road courses. Getting a good finish here to propel yourself into the first road course of the season must feel pretty good. A lot of momentum going to an area that you're good at to an area that you're really good at.
Yeah, I've been trying to improve on the ovals. Mostly tire saving. But yeah, the road courses are definitely my thing. It's where I excel the most. Hope to go for a win there next week, and should be pretty good.
Well, P2 today in the Blue Egg car. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors? We know we want to shout out Blue Egg, so go right ahead.
Yeah, of course. Big shout out to Blue Egg. They've been the sponsor on the IndyCar for 3 seasons now. Big shout out to JD Designs for painting all these beautiful paints that I have throughout the week. Big shout out to Tyler Fody and Lake Norman Motorsports for being there. And then 2-3 on the podium too. Then big shout out to you guys up in the booth. Always love watching these back. And just big shout out to Chad and Chris and everybody that runs this league.
Congratulations on the P2. Good run into the road courses coming up for you. We look forward to seeing you next week and how you do on when we get to wine country at Sonoma.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right, and now I'm sure we got a word from Adriano. I'm checking. Is that your message there, Lewis? There it is.
Yes, sir.
There he is. So, Adriano says, "Good evening, friends. I want to congratulate Ethan and Tyler on the podium. I took pole position, and in the first part of the race, I decided to stay a little behind, thinking about saving fuel. I was always among the top 7, and I knew that would matter." Was being in the first position after the last stop. So basically he says, he didn't matter where he was until that last pit stop, and then long as he was in first place at the last pit stop, sounded like he almost had the thing scripted out. And that's kind of what happened. But anyways, he continues, I was able to save a lot of fuel being in third before the last pit stop and managed to make a very good last pit stop, which put me in the lead, and I concentrated as much as possible to always stay on the inside line and defend myself. I am happy with the victory. It will give me even more confident for the next rounds. About Sonoma, he says, I know the track well. I've ridden the DW12 there a few times. I love the track, and I hope to do very well there. Have a great night, everyone. All the best. Adriano Pinero, your winner tonight. Lewis, what do you think of Pinero's efforts? A good way to kind of show in that last race that he was dominant, and he kind of does the dominant deed today. Not really leading as many laps as he did last week, but just really showing that when it was time to be the leader, he was the leader.
Yeah, today he won 2 points. Last week he won 4 points because he led the most lap. He did a pole position, and he led 1 lap. And today he'll pole position and lead 1 lap. Means he is the leader for 1 point today over the 40. So it's really interesting to how Adriano almost, because the yellow flag and all this condition about the coming in to the pit and slice the car and don't thinking about it. You have to adjust your mind about you going from the grip track to go into this pit lane. We don't have any grip, and you can lose the car easily, like has happened today for many others. Yeah, it's really tough for the top one. So was a good race. I'm gonna put also Clendy with all this damage he have in the car. He finished on 5th today, so very good for him. And Pinheiro, I think he's gonna start it. He started a good way, so he still. We still have a lot of for talking about the championship. When it's coming in Indianapolis, we're gonna figure out who's gonna go for the championship for now. But I always count that every single race is count the points to the end, because it's happened to me. For one race bad is always a bad luck for the end. So good race for everyone. It was really, really good. We did like an hour 50 something minutes today, so it's not really a long race. So let's see what happens if Sonoma very tough. It's gonna be 85 laps around that track, and but let's see. Adriano Piñeiro, Ritter, 4002. One of the good ones in the
score
road.
Team USA.
Yeah, 201 also. Is it 2 or 3-1?
2-1. 2-1.
Yeah. So also I'm gonna put Takeshi Akita too in the contender for the road, because we see in the FIS is very good in road with that level. So good for Adriano, and let's see on next one, Sonoma.
Yeah, Leighton Norgard passes 17 cars. He's the biggest gainer of the day, and Victor Aldrich up 14, Huckleberry up 13, Camargo up 12. So a lot of guys from deep in the starting lineup getting good finishes out of today. But I am looking forward. I am not kidding, though. This upcoming schedule is murderer's row by any stretch of the imagination. But before we get to the remaining schedule, which I will bring up here on the screen. There it is Sonoma, then Auto Club for 500 miles. Then we're doing 250-ish miles at Dover. Then we're going to Barber. So this next stretch is really, really, really going to be wearing on these drivers, even before we get to the big races of the season, which is Long Beach and Indianapolis. So get strapped in. These next 5 weeks, I think, are going to decide the championship. Now, we might see the championship come down to the final race, and someone might prove me wrong. But I really think that the chief players of the championship are going to be the ones that really rise to the top. You know how Randy Macho Man Savage says the cream always rises to the top? Oh, yeah, the cream rises to the top. Yeah. Well, the cream is going to rise to the top here at Sonoma, at Fontana, at Dover, and Barber. I don't doubt that at all.
I think you're right. Maybe when we going to Long Beach, we're going to figure out who's going to be the main ones, because after that we have a Nashville, and then we have the Indianapolis 500 with 2 to go. So, yeah, I think so. Long Beach is going to be the main to figure out who's going to be going for the championship.
Well, that's going to do it, everybody, for tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Your podium from the Elite Indy 300 from Chicagoland Speedway is Adriano Pinheiro getting another win here in the series. Ethan Stanley getting another podium here. And Tyler Fode, he is in the championship hunt. We want to mention the points one more time. Pinheiro is actually your leader. Fode is second, only 1 point behind. And somehow, Presley Sora is still third after having a bad finish today. He is still third, tied with Ethan Stanley, only 12 points behind second spot, only 13 behind the lead. So, again, just because you have an early DNF doesn't mean your season's over. He can still recover plenty of time. But it is Pinheiro, Fode, Sora, Stanley, Frankenfeld, your top 5 as we go to Sonoma next. Join ERN again next week for round 3 of the 2025 A Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series of the Elite for the Elite IndyCar Grand Prix of Sonoma for our first of 4 road courses this season. Coverage begins around 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, again at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, and you can find everything on YouTube right here at youtube.com. Just keyword search Elite Racing Network. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not easy, so please help support ERN with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought on tonight's race and if you enjoyed tonight's coverage. Support us by smashing like in the video, would you? And if you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of ERN's other iRacing programming, including the Juicy Spider Studios Elite Truck Series, Sundays at 8:30 p.m., and the Mark J. Rebilas Grand National Series, Mondays at 7:30. You don't want to miss it. The Elite Racing League's IndyCar Series naming rights are paid for by Warriors for Peace. Warriors for Peace is an Indianapolis-based nonprofit organization working to end violence and to inspire peaceful change. Founded in the memory of Jack Shockley, they support youth through scholarships, mentoring, and community programs. To learn more and to support their mission, visit their webpage at warriorsforpeace.org or follow one of their socials today. All the links you need are in the description. And I want to thank the Warriors for Peace for their continued support of this signature series and championship. Special thank you to the Elite Racing League's premier sponsors, Blue Egg Marketing, and World Wide Technology Raceway. Don't spin your wheels. Accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. To learn more about Blue Egg, go to blueeggmarketing.com or click on their link in the description. World Wide Technology Raceway is a premier motorsports facility located in Madison, Illinois, just minutes away from downtown St. Louis and the iconic Gateway Arch. To learn more about World Wide Technology Raceway or to buy tickets for one of their premier events, check out www.traceway.com or click on their link in the stream description. For business inquiries to learn more about the Elite Racing League and what we do, visit EliteRacingLeague.com. Subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook, or follow us on X and Instagram. As always, the links are in the description. So, for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone at the Elite Racing Network and Elite Racing League, I'm Gary Gatto saying to all good night, and thanks for watching. And all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again, right here next week in Sonoma for the next race of the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series. Good night.